Hello everyone. Today we are here to meet a person who has spent his life in sales over 2 decades. And I'm proud to say that he's my father. Let's have a candid talk with him. So presenting in front of you, Mr. Pradeep Manjrekar. Can you please tell us about your journey?
Thank you, Rhythm, for taking out this precious time from your holiday. Interested about my journey. So let me take you back to my school days, which is even your school days right now. It's in a place called Devlali in Maharashtra, and that was where I had one of the best time as a child, as it was one of the best schools during our times, and even till now I would say it's one of the best schools. That atmosphere refreshed me so much that I could spend a lot of time during my free hours in schooling thinking about other things that I can do in life. So for me, my way of spending my weekend was when my father used to come down to spend some time over the weekend with me in Devlali while he was based in Mumbai. So he used to share all his stories, his experiences with clients as he was into a corporate gifting business. So whenever I used to have time, I used to go out there with him, and also during my summer vacations, spend time with him, go along with him and attend his meetings. So one memory that I have, the very first meeting that I attended with him was that he was called by one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in Mumbai, and they wanted to order a pencil top to give away as a gift item along with all their syrups, which was a syrup for children. So I was not taken inside where the meeting was happening. I was sitting outside the conference room, and then after every 20-25 minutes I used to see my father and the other company people come out, spend some 10-15 minutes and then go again. And this happened for 3-4 times, and after almost a couple of hours, when the meeting got over and my father came out, I asked him the very first question, how did the meeting went? So he said, initially we were all negotiating for 50 paise, and finally then we went out and we both identified each other on the brand of one of the products that we both had in common, and that's how that clicked and the deal got signed off. So very first experience that I got on how to negotiate with clients, and it was not always the price that was important, it was the relationship that had to be developed. After finishing my schooling, I was fortunate enough to join one of the first telecom companies in India, rather a mobile company in India called BPL Mobile, and I got the opportunity to work alongside their sales unit as a tariff plan upgradation sales trainee. So the role that I had got was I had got a list of all the corporate users, and I had to call them up and upgrade them from a 100-minute plan to a 200-minute plan, from a 200-minute plan to a 400-minute plan, and so on and so forth. So I used to attend college during my daytime, and in my second half I used to visit BPL, and they'd give me a nice conference cabin which was fully air conditioned, and they'd give me a toll-free mobile, and I used to be completely on the calls. The only time I had to go and meet the client was when they were ready to go ahead and do the upgradation. And every time when they used to see me in their premises, they used to ask me one question: was it really you that we spoke to you on the phone? Because I was a very young lad, I was very casual about my appearance as well. I was not only in a t-shirt and jeans because I was doing college. But end of the day, I realized that it was not also about the looks, it was about how well you communicated. So if you could communicate well the information, the results will always be positive. So this was my first experience in the corporate world personally. And after that, my father decided to shift from Mumbai to Devlali, where we were based, and he was distributing gift items across Nasik. And one fine day, he identified a small gap in between two shops in a complex right in front of my college. And he told me, will you be ready to manage a counter for pens and gift items from here?" And I was like all set for it. And there it was, within a month's time, we launched a pen counter and we named it Pen Den. So I used to do college lectures and I used to come there and I used to manage it. The only space the counter had was as much as I could stand, and if I just moved my hands this way, I could touch the walls on the side. So it was purely a gap in between two shops which was customized into a pen counter. So I interacted with college students, school students during the daytime, and towards the later part of the day I used to have people visiting for purchasing gifts for their occasions, also corporate senior executives buying pens, buying gift items. So I did this for almost 2 years, and while doing that I finished my graduation as well. I completed my commerce from BYK College in Nasik, and after that I was thinking what to do with my life. And one fine day I and my father were just discussing, and he told me that what have you achieved till now, whatever you've done, I have given you the foundation. And that made me think that maybe it's time that I should go to a place where I could live the life that I would want to. And the first thing that came in my mind was Mumbai. So my cousin had come down to Divlali to meet us, and he was returning on his bike, and it was a rainy day. So I told him, can I join? And I joined him along, and we both non-stop hit Mumbai in rains. And once I reached Mumbai, we spent the day at his grandparents' place. And the next day, early morning, he went for his job. He was working in an automobile industry. And I was left to think, what should I do? So my favorite paper from Bombay was Midday. So I purchased the Midday paper and I started going through the appointments. And I saw one ad stating that a Canadian company is looking for business development executives. So I immediately noted the location and I went there. And to my surprise, I saw almost 500 people waiting right outside that hotel, and they were not allowed to enter. And I was also one of them. And after almost half an hour, one gentleman came and he addressed everyone. And the shortlisting of candidates happened right outside the hotel lobby. And then half of the people who were shortlisted were told to wait, and the other half were told to leave. I was fortunate to be selected. And then I was introduced to one of the company representatives, and they told me you'll be spending the entire day with him. His name was Anupam, and I was very much excited to spend the day with him. So we were not even taken inside the hotel, we were just asked to leave from there itself, and he took an auto rickshaw, myself, Anupam, and one more other person from that company. We headed towards the field. And once we headed towards the field, I realized that this was a very different kind of sales, because it was more of a direct selling, and on top of it, it was not to anybody but to residences. So we had to go and ring the doorbells of each and every house and introduce ourselves, and we were representing one of the top multinational brands which was planning a presence in India. And it's a very well-known brand called Domino's Pizza. So wherever Domino's was planning to expand their business, they used to engage our company, which was into advertising, and we used to go out there and we used to do the below-the-line marketing by sharing the promotions for customers. It was mostly a buy one get one free pizza coupons that we had to sell for a certain value. So I was doing this, I was enjoying it. This took me across India, from Mumbai to Goa to Chennai to Pune. It made me realize that it's not only your communication, it's not only the kind of product that you sell, it's also the can-do attitude which I learned from that organization. Even though we did not have So have a can-do attitude. So the most important lesson that I learned very early in my journey was to have an attitude which is a very positive mental attitude. So no matter what situation you are in your life, and especially when you are selling, you come across a lot of hurdles, you come across a lot of people who will tell you no, they're not interested, but your can-do attitude, your way of going ahead and ensuring you reach out to your concerned target audience, and each and every person that you speak to, you have the same enthusiasm, you have the same way of consistently sharing about your product and service will take you places. So for today, the one piece of advice that I would like to give to each and every aspiring salesperson out there is, no matter where you are, no matter what product or service you're promoting, always remember that it's done till the time you give up. Every time when you're out there in the market, understand one thing, that law of averages will always work. Every 10 customers that you speak to, 9 of them will say no, and 1 of them will be a potential customer. So you have to reach out for that one positive, but for that you have to make sure that you're seeing 9 negative customers. So it's not about how many positive customers you can meet in a day. Are you ready to meet and interact with maximum number of negative customers? So my only mantra that I've started from my start is meet more people, have more fun, and if you're doing that, automatically you'll make more money. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Pradeep, for giving your time to us and join us. Thank you.